Now everyone, it's time to spread a bit of movie cheer.
Welcome to the Movie Cheer podcast presents Battle of the Movie Trilogies. And tonight I am joined by two special guest co-hosts joining Movie Cheer tonight. First of all, I've got Philip Coghill. How are you doing, Phil? You okay, buddy?
Yeah, good.
Awesome, bud. Phil has got a really cool YouTube channel discussing movies and physical media. And great channel, Phil. And also, I've got with me tonight as well, Ryan from Let's Get Kicking Movies. Ryan, how are you doing, matey?
I am doing quite well, actually. Just being busy today, and being very excited for this all day. So, being really looking forward for it.
It's going to be a fun evening. So, just to sum up what we are doing tonight. Also, I just want to say in advance as well, before we get any further into the show, Shaun from Media Collective Madness. He was planning to come on tonight. Unfortunately, he can't make it. I just want to say, wish Shaun well. Hope he's doing okay. And I want to say, check out Shaun's channel, Media Collective Madness. He's a top guy. He's got a top YouTube channel. Really friendly bloke and a big part of his community as well. So I hope he's doing okay. And we'll see Shaun soon. So I hope you're doing okay, buddy. Tonight, though, what are we doing? Battle of the Movie Trilogies is the first pay-per-view show of the Movie Cheer calendar. We do these every 3-4 months or so, these pay-per-view shows, a bit more of a theme to them. And we are going to pick out, we've got 4 movie trilogies we are going to put up against each other tonight to find out which one is the best. And I've been, discussing these with the gents in advance, saying which ones we are going to talk about tonight. The gents feel prepared to answer questions and debate this and go deep into this movie discussion for these trilogies. So that'll be today's headline topic for the show. But as always on the show, on the Movie Cheer Pod, we are going to start off with a segment called What's Been on the Screen.
Ooh, what's been on the screen? The screen. What's been on the screen?
What's been on the screen? What have we been watching this week, gents?
Ooh.
First of all, I'm going to start off with Phil. Phil, what have you been watching this week, my friend? Or over the past recently? What some of the movies, TV shows you've been watching?
Some of the things. Well, recently I subscribed to the BFI Player service, so I've been watching a few things on that the past week or so. There was one called Black Orpheus, which was a Brazilian film. That was really good. There was this really weird horror film called Possession with Sam Neill.
Right.
I tell you what it's about.
Oh,
Really, you know that one. Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it. But I heard it's meant to be quite a fun ride.
Yeah.
What can you say about it without spoiling it, Phil? Oh, can you not? Is it one of those where if you say something, it's
well,
spoiled?
it starts off like a divorce drama. It's Sam Neill and Bella Ijani, I think. They're a couple, and she tells him, "I want a divorce. I'm seeing someone else." And it starts off like as this divorce drama, but then it becomes like this weird horror film halfway through. I don't want to say how. If people who've heard of it will know what I'm referring to, but
Super. And was that on the
that was on the but I enjoyed it.
Was that on the BFI Play? Did you say, Phil?
Yeah.
Yeah. Super. What else have you been watching? Any other movies, TV shows?
Yeah, I watched last night I watched Alien again.
Yeah.
I meant to watch it on the 26th because that's Alien Day, but I missed it, so I watched it last night.
Why is the 26th Alien Day? Is that when the original movie was released, or is that?
No, it's because the planet's called LV 426, 26th of April.
Ah, right, okay, right.
Play on that. So.
That's pretty smart. I'll also check out this BFI play because you mentioned this to us the other day, and like I said, I'm not like I've just not really watched that many like art house movies, and
Yeah.
I mean you've seen as well like classic movies as well. It's great for that as well. So
yeah,
I was looking at the website the other day, but I've saying this to you, like it's great that you've got them options now, and I'm sure
Yeah.
Ryan will know that as well because he's a fan of horror, like with stuff like Shudder as well. You got like these specific streaming services for different genres. I think it's awesome. If you like, it's the same as like you got your Disney Plus if you like your Marvel and whatever else, you know, like all them sort of that stuff. So I think it's cool that it's out there. You can get whatever like stream if you know you don't maybe if you don't collect movies and you just want to go for the streaming route. It's plenty of choice now, and it's great. What about yourself, Ryan? What have you been watching this past week, mate?
That's actually a very good question because I've been on a Hammer horror kick for the past few weeks now. Due to like watching like all of the classic Dracula movies with Chris Lee, they are being so much fun for me. So that's I had like Chris Lee is absolutely menacing. The way he keeps coming back as Dracula is absolutely mental. Absolutely incredible. I'm not gonna tell you how he keeps coming back every time because that's a spoiler. But the first one, it's like your normal Dracula story. That's basically what it is. So you get to know these characters. You get to know like these characters. You got Renfield's not in it. That's just one thing. But he does have the story with Jonathan Harker on how he goes to Dracula's castle, all that kind of stuff. You have Peter Cushing as Van Helsing, but there is differences with the Hammer movies. They take their own twist on the actual on the movies, and I've been like going around like watching all these, and they're very enjoyable, absolutely very enjoyable. But I've got to say the Frankenstein movies are literally the best thing out of all of them. I've got to say, enjoyable.
Oh, cool.
I've recently this week I went to see Evil Dead Rise. Well, second time I went to see it last week. I saw it at the Cineworld on the super screen. For the very first time for the probably going to be like the third time in my life I went to a super screening. I tell you what, absolute great experience. I gotta say, if you're a fan of Evil Dead, it's probably like the most Evil Dead you will see for a very long time since 2013. But even though I'm not a big fan of the 2013 movie, but Evil Dead Rise, it's one hell of a fun ride. If you like,
I've never seen. You know what, right? I've never seen the any Evil Dead movie. I've seen a bit of the Army of the Darkness one, bits like a few parts of it. I've never seen the first few. Are they really good? Like,
the original Evil Dead are the OG, man, the proper OG. Yeah. That's where you see Ash, developing as his character. Because in the first movie, he's just like an everyday. Basically, the first film is like everyday.
Really good, yeah.
Slash. It's basically like a slasher movie, but with demons.
Frozen, I think.
But you soon realize, like, he's just like normal day guy going to this cabin in the middle of the woods. What happens? They find a book in the middle of Norway. Sorry, that's the dog.
It's okay.
in the middle of Norway, and they find this like tape recording, and once they play that tape recording, they literally bring the spirits like from this book to life.
Right.
So, what happens? Well, of course, it's going to be a big massive bloodbath, isn't it? That's basically what an Evil Dead movie is. But the first one is like it's like your everyday horror. While you go into the second one, it goes to full blown horror comedy.
Yeah, I've heard about that. It's like it's like a massive shift, isn't it?
A massive shift, aye.
Isn't the second movie meant to be like very similar to the first one? Is it? Or...
it's like a reboot.
Is it okay.
The first 15 minutes are like a remake of a recap of the first one. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Are you a fan of the Evil Dead movies, Phil?
Yeah, I haven't seen the Evil Dead Rise yet, but yeah, I've seen the first three. I've seen the 2013. I watched the TV series as well. Yeah, I enjoy
Oh,
Right,
them.
okay.
They're really fun.
the TV series is absolutely incredible. It's like they literally go
Yeah.
literally go. Oh, sorry, Alfie. They literally go all out, right, on that in that show. If you know Phil, right? Remember that morgue scene?
Oh yeah, yeah.
One,
What's this? What's the scene?
it's very spoilery. It's basically
Right,
what it
okay.
is.
Yeah.
But like,
All
if
right,
you watch,
okay.
whenever you
You just
watch
have to
like the
watch it
movie,
for yourself, I guess.
yeah, watch it for yourself because it's very very gruesome, very gruesome. But
What's the best
Yeah.
movie in the franchise then? Is it Army of Darkness the best one?
Evil Dead 2 for me. Not people's got like different opinions. Like
Yeah.
more people have they may like Army of Darkness is bad due to like the more badass version of Ash himself, or you like the version from Evil Dead 2, which is like seeing his character develop into the badass himself, where he gets just like the whole look, he gets chainsaw as a hand, plus like you get the booms. You get the sword off boomstick and that's where everything starts. And you meet Henrietta for the very first time.
Right,
So,
okay. I'm gonna have to give it a watch.
Mate, the Evil Dead movies are incredible. It's like
Yeah.
probably it's probably like one of the strongest horror franchises out there that has not have it like a bad movie. Even
Right,
though
okay.
I think, in my opinion, the 2013 it's not my favorite movie. I'm very critical on that film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I rewatched that I think it was Thursday. I rewatched that, and I still hate it. I still hate it since like last time I watched it, I was 15 last time I watched it.
Yeah.
That's when I started getting into the Evil Dead movies. And when I watched it again on my second rewatch, it was like I feel like my eyes are literally I was starting to fall asleep. I was like. The story, it's like it drags for the very first half hour. It literally
Yeah.
does. It basically tries to remake like what the first movie is, but try to put like different kind of twists and stuff like that in. But in my opinion, I just didn't think the actors didn't know what they were doing, and half the time when I was watching it. But
For me, 20. Sorry. I was
it's
saying
all right.
for me with the 2013 one, it was I mean, I don't mind Bungo, but there was the gore was like so excessive. It got to a point where it was just boring after a while.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree on
There
you.
was
Too much blood.
just
Yeah.
like, girl, how much longer is left? Jesus, it got boring after a while.
Yeah,
I know that with like wrestling though, it's like if they do like too much blood in the wrestling shows, it's like a bit of if they have blood in like one match, it's like wow, that's cool. And then but it's like if every match does blood, it's just like you said, Phil, it's like movies is the same. It's just like just too much now. It's just like it just like normalizes it too much, doesn't it? Like
my favorite of them is I like the first one the best because I like the low budget charm. It was because Sam Raimi and they weren't like professional. They were just amateurs and they raised the money and they shot it in a cabin, for very little money. And I like that low, but like the fact that it's a bunch of guys went out and made a horror movie and it's they made something as good as that. So I like all three of the original trilogy. Evil Dead 2 is really funny. Army of Darkness, I think. You lose a lot of the horror in that one. That one's more of a comedy action thing.
Yeah.
But, some horror elements.
because that one's like mostly set during medieval times. That's what it is. But I tell you what, it's still a fun film. Because like I've recently just ordered a Evil Dead collection, like from off eBay. So it's like the Groovy edition, where you only get the first two movies, but you also get the TV show. But the only shame thing, you don't get Army of Darkness in the set. So, like, what I'm going to do, I'm literally going to buy the Screen Factory set whenever I get my hands on it. And they're just going to take the 4K disc out because I've just bought it for the Blu-rays, I want the TV show as well.
Yeah.
And just stick the Screen Factory discs in. There you go. I've got them in straight like that. That's the whole Groovy collection. So yeah.
Awesome, mate. That's cool. I don't know another film I watched this week. I don't know if you've reviews have seen it. It's a few years old now. Get Out. I think it was it.
Oh, Get Out.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it Jordan Peele? Was it Jordan Peele? Was it? Who directed it?
Yeah, Jordan Peele. Yeah.
Have you both seen the movie? Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen the movie. I've got it up there in my collection. So.
I mean, like, so just I don't want to go too heavy on spoilers. Well, I suppose like spoilers ahead if you've not seen Get Out. It's been out a few years now, but that's a mad movie. I'm not really into like horror movies that much, but it's like a psychological horror where it's this guy. He goes like this black guy. He's got a white girlfriend, and he's going to meet his girlfriend's family, and he's kind of cautious. He's like, does your family know I'm black? And he says this to the girlfriend, and she's like, oh no, they're fine about it. They're all this, and then they go to the house, and then he just keeps on seeing things that kind of feel a bit off, and then it's so bad when you're watching this. It's like, so she's like the mum of the girlfriend is like a hypnotist, and then they hypnotize him and others into like doing stuff and becoming slaves and stuff. And I never saw that coming. I've heard so many great things about that movie, and I watched it last night. I thought, man, this is such a great film. Really, it really is like a top story. Like I love the concept, and he's like, it's just surreal. What did you think of it, Phil?
I enjoyed it. I think some of the satire was a bit like heavy-handed, but it was very enjoyable.
I know he's had like is he like is Jordan Peele, is he like one of the top guys in like the horror genre now? Is he or is he just like an all-round like director more?
He's a comedian.
I think
I know.
He was a comedian first.
Key and Peele, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he started like getting. He's a big fan of horror. So
right, okay.
So plus, like, if you look into like other horror movies, you never really had like, people from the black community take a lead in a horror movie before. So like he'd done something different with that, and it just worked. And through that's why he didn't want like white actors to be the lead in his films. So he tried to do something new, and it just worked straight out the box. And I tell you what, he's picked some really good actors for those movies, like David. Is it Aleo? Okay, no, David. Is it Daniel Kaluuya?
Yeah,
Daniel Kaluuya.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was in Get Out, and he was in Nope. Brilliant British actor right there. I've got to agree on that. He's done a really good job in that film. And I've got to say, if you remember the ending for that movie, what goes on, but I'm not going to mention it because it's a big. you know what I mean? Like, because that it's been 18 since I've seen Get Out 1. Anyway, that's basically Get Out is the only Jordan Peele movie I haven't seen at the cinema because I was 7. Even though it was a 15. I was 17 and I didn't really care about that film until I saw it on, on physical. So it's an absolute great film. Like, plus it gives you like the thoughts like what happened like during the 1800s as well. Because I can tell that how that was like referenced as well in the film. And I think way Jordan Peele done it. It's just perfect. And didn't go like straight in the box with it. So that's what I really enjoyed.
I thought it was a wicked movie. I mean, it's just, it would put me off. I've never been to a hypnotist, but I think it would put me off going to see a hypnotist for life.
Oh God!
I don't think I'd want to do that. Like, I can't imagine being that bad. But I mean, that's just like, I like. Just weird concept. I mean, I watched that last night in Soho a few weeks back, and I was kind of like, I didn't know whether that was like a good movie or like just a really weird concept where it just made me go like, wow, this is weird. But I think I felt like similar to this, but I felt like more like this was actually a good movie. Get Out, I really enjoyed the story, the plot, and it just all clicked really well. It was a really solid movie, and like it wasn't like too gory as well. Like, apart from maybe the endings, it gets a bit more, a bit gory. Like, but I could handle it. It was just a great story. I thought it was really good. But anyway, that's what's been on the screen this week for us all. I will say we are doing this live. If you want to join the chat and the live discussion, leave a comment, and we will get throughout the segments of today's show. We will answer some comments as well. And if you're watching this on the live replay or on the podcast, leave your comments below and let us know your thoughts on all of today's topics. So, first of all, we have got Gareth from Video Tasties, and he said, "Evening, guys." Evening, Gareth. Hope you're doing well, buddy.
Evening, Gareth.
Top guy. And we also have Stuart George. He says, "Nothing tops the original low-budget made without Hollywood glam. It's got balls." I think, is he referring to Evil Dead, I imagine, on that one?
I think it's Evil Dead, which I think it is, because, like, you know, low budget, horror movies back during the day, they did really well. Like, you know, so some of them became big, massive blockbusters. Same with Evil Dead. I've got to say, Star Wars. That was I would say that was made out of George Lucas's which I'm going to say, I think it was garage, wasn't it? Some of it was made out of his garage. You know, I think due to, like, some of it, but, like, see, that Star Wars was a movie that was, like, run on a low budget as well, and that also become a big, massive success. The way they did that.
Too right. So, like I said, get in your comments, guys and girls, and let's get on with today's headline topic.
The Movie Cheer podcast presents the headline topic for the episode.
Remember to spread a bit of movie
headline topic. Headline topic.
Remember to spread a bit of movie cheer.
So today's headline topic, Battle of the Movie Trilogies. As I said at the start of the show, we're going to put 4 movie trilogies up against each other to find out which one is the best. We're going to discuss it between the 3 of us to find out which one is the best. Those 4 trilogies are the OG Spider-Man trilogy, the Tobey Maguire one. We've also got the Star Wars prequels, the Planet of the Apes reboot, and we've got the Dark Knight trilogy. 4 solid trilogies there, and it's going to be good to deep dive into them and discuss them. First off, we're going to have Spider-Man, the OG Spider-Man trilogy versus the Star Wars prequel. So, OG Spider-Man trilogy, we had the first one came out in 2002, second 2004, the last one 2007. Star Wars prequels, we have 1999, 2002, and 2005, which was the last one, Revenge of the Sith. First of all, I will say I like both of these, but I'm also kind of like, there's certain bits where I don't like some of them. There's definitely some cons, some negatives to some of these movies throughout both of these trilogies. They kind of, both of them, I think, have got flaws within them both. I think, like, the Spider-Man trilogy, the third one is probably the worst out of that bunch for me personally. And I think we like Star Wars, big Star Wars fan, love the OG trilogy. There's good point, like Phantom Menace is probably I think Attack of the Clones is probably the worst of the bunch, but the Phantom Menace, it had its good points, like Darth Maul, great villain, and then that villain was not continued in the movie trilogy, but continued in the TV shows, and a lot of fans love that villain. But I think there's tons of like good points from that, like Ewan McGregor, Qui-Gon Jinn. There's loads of great points, and I think like Hayden Christensen as well as Anakin and Darth Vader. He's another one where I thought initially he was a bit an odd casting, but again they've used him again in these TV shows now, and it feels like it's paying off the fact that they cast him, and it seems like that now it's like a fine wine. It's like getting better with age. I feel like the prequels, but. Phil, how do you feel first of all? Because I know we did an episode a few years back, and you said, I think it was your best year of movies was 2004. And
Yeah.
the Spider-Man 2 was in there.
Yeah.
What? How do you feel about, first of all, Spider-Man trilogy? How do you feel about the OG trilogy? Are you a fan of it as a whole? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm a fan of it as a whole. I think Spider-Man 3 is the weakest, and I do have some issues with the film, but I do still quite enjoy it. Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2, like I absolutely loved as a kid.
Yeah.
And I watch them again now, and I still think they're really good. I still think they hold up really, really well.
What was like for you the best part of Spider-Man 2? Was it like the villain, do you reckon, or is it just as a whole the whole movie was spectacular?
Just the whole, I love the plot of like the whole thing of like Peter Parker. He gives up, being Spider-Man, makes his life miserable, so he gives it up. But then, he obviously decides, no, I have to be Spider-Man, even though it makes my life hell, because it's the right thing to do. And that is the complete ethos of the Spider-Man Peter Parker character. So that's what I love about that. It's like it captures what makes the character tick perfectly for me.
And what did you think of the obviously the third one? What do you think later down there? Was it just like too many characters, just a bad movie overall, or what went wrong with it? The third one.
It was too many characters. Like I think the thing with Venom was rushed. Really, they should have ended it with Eddie Brock becoming Venom, and then had him be the main villain in the next one. But also, my main issue was I didn't like how they sort of retroactively made Uncle Ben, Sandman, Uncle Ben's killer. Because again, another motivation for Spider-Man is it's because he let the robber go, and the robber kills Uncle Ben, and it's like it's that guilt. It's like that kind of is one of the things that drives him.
Yeah.
Then saying, "Oh no, it's not your fault. Your uncle's dead. Some other guy."
Someone else done it then. Yeah. They did ruin that with that. It's like I don't know why they done that. I think there's so much like that film just didn't click, did it? The third one, it was just. But I felt like that with the second one at first when I initially watched that. I didn't enjoy it, but it's when you did that video, you said 2004 was your best year, and you mentioned Spider-Man 2. I went back and watched it then, and I loved Spider-Man 2 after watching it. I think it was just like a cracking film, absolutely cracking. Ryan, the prequels, the Star Wars prequels. What are your thoughts on the Star Wars prequels, Ryan? Are you a fan of these? Are they good? I mean, like, how big of a Star Wars fan, first of all, are you? Are you a big fan of the series, or?
Right, I'm very critical when it comes to Star Wars. Right, well, I have got Star Wars pops around it, so I am a big fan of Star Wars. So, the Star Wars prequels, right? Phantom Menace was the one that started it all, the whole trilogy for me. It's an okay film, which I'm just gonna say, but it's also a fun film. But I think the worst thing about that film is gotta be Jar Jar Binks. The whole character. It's like, because first it's the introduction of using CGI. In Star Wars, because like everything was like practical effects, well, except for like when you're using like lasers and stuff like that in the film, because half it is stop motion animation in some places, or like models and that. But this is like the first time we are using CGI for the very first time in a Star Wars movie, which would have been a very, very big success back then. And so the whole story, which I'm gonna say now, like, I think it was the ending was shit, which I'm just gonna say now. That's what I'm gonna say. You had one of the most greatest villains in that whole trilogy. What happened? Oh yeah, he's got his body chopped in half. There you go. That's one thing. It's like Darth Maul. I wanted to see his character develop in this trilogy, but no. Who did we get? Little kid Anakin Skywalker, who we know and love as Darth Vader. So there's a really good way that we're going to take the story, which I'm just gonna say now, but it's when it led in Attack of the Clones. One of the most controversial movies that I had to sit through when I was a kid. Right? It wouldn't have bothered us then, right? But when I watched it in my teenage years, I was literally like, am I watching a bloody soaps or something? Because like all I'm saying, yeah, it's just a big massive love dynamic between Padme and bloody Anakin Skywalker halfway through the movie.
Yeah.
It was more like a was it a love story in a way? It was. It's all about Padme and Anakin Skywalker trying to fall in love with each other and trying to get it on. That's basically what it was, you know. And wasn't Padme, right? Padme was older. She was in I think she was 25 or something like that around that time, right?
Yeah.
While Anakin was still growing up, and I think it was either 17, 16 or whatever age he was during that time. I was like, okay, this is getting a bit weird here with his love dynamic. Jeez, I was literally wondering what the hell's going on. Yeah, it's like I might end up gonna see these getting arguing and end up going on Jeremy Kyle or something. That's someone I was pretty watching, man. Hey, God. And that whole I'm gonna say about the arena scene, right? The whole arena scene near the end of the movie, where you see all the Jedi's and all, and plus the troops from the Sith come in, the droids.
Yeah, when the clone troopers coming down. Yeah.
Aye, with the clone troopers and that. And then you see all the Jedi's go literally fighting in this big massive arena. I was like, who am I supposed to tell which one's who? The only one I can tell is Samuel L. Jackson with his purple lightsaber. That's all I can tell who it was. I was like, I tell you what,
Did you not like that scene, Ryan? Did you not like
scene?
it? Did you like it? Oh no, did you not like it?
It's a decent scene. I just thought it went on for too long.
All right.
I was like, come on, man. Right, where's I wanted to say, look, you got little Boba Fett, the one with the long hair and that, before he went bald. In the new one, plus because it's because then you had Tamara something I didn't think because he played the father in that one before he got the role as Boba Fett himself in the new ones. I was like, we've got this new Boba Fett. Pop. It's an introduction to the Mandalorian kind of thing, even though we had Boba Fett anyway, because the Mandalorians were around that stage anyway. Yeah. But you know what happened to his character? God, one of the worst steps I've seen in the entire, I've got to say, in the prequel history, literally, and I could literally just kind of stand his character in that movie, unless I'm watching, the Mandalorian when he plays Boba Fett, which he's much better as. But it just takes the whole development of this character. Oh yeah, right. And I've got to say now, right, Ewan McGregor, it's absolutely pointless in that entire movie. He's just there.
Right, okay.
Right? Every single time I see him, right? Even though he's in most of the movie, he's not even doing nothing.
Well, doesn't he go like a cafe? Does he go like a cafe in that movie? Which one's is that the one, Phil? He goes to the cafe and then he gets caught by Dooku and stuff like that, doesn't he?
Oh, can't do it. I've got to get credit, right? Chris Belize was really good in the Star Wars prequel. Absolutely brilliant. Continuing with Peter Cushing in the original movies.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Cameo from an angry dog.
Cameo from an angry dog because he heard a siren outside. You didn't like the Star Wars prequels, do you? I can tell from the growling.
I don't think he does.
No.
Well, what about the does the third one, does that redeem the trilogy for you?
Oh, definitely. The third one's brilliant. It's one of the best films out of the whole trilogy. It's the whole development of Anakin Skywalker's, journey into becoming Darth Vader himself. And that was so great. And the ending is just incredible. You know,
It's,
you were my brother.
I-
You were my brother, Anakin. I have Anakin. I have the high ground, and he absolutely hates, like Obi-Wan for that whole reason, because he's just like, oh yeah, you know what happened to him? He's got his leg chopped off, all that kind of stuff. It's mental, man, mental. But the whole movie itself, it's just a really good development. You just see, Hayden Christensen playing Anakin, and I think it just works so well.
He got it.
See
He got
the
it right, didn't he?
development. Yeah, they did get it right. He was just rubbish in the second one.
Yeah, the
So,
second one was definitely the letdown.
Yeah,
Do you, what do you feel with the Star Wars prequels? Do you think they would have been better? Say, like, if they were made now with like the practical effects they use in like the sequel trilogies, what if they have the same story? Do you reckon people would have liked them more, or do you reckon it would still be the same? It'd be the story was just bad, or do you reckon it was like this bad CGI, like Ryan said, Jar Jar Binks? Like, what do you
I don't think it was the CGI, because I saw all those films at the cinema when they came out, and those special effects are really good. I think it was more the script. Like, people had issues with the scripts and the dialogue and the stories. Modern special effects wouldn't change like what people think of them. I think
the opinion, yeah. I think it's just like the story just didn't. It didn't sit right, and it's weird as well, because it's George Lucas. He comes back.
Yeah.
It's his baby. You think I don't know whether it was just like he just rushed him or something, maybe, or maybe that's the story he just wanted to tell, and he just fans just didn't like it. Like, maybe I think it's like, it reminds me a lot with like the Boba Fett TV show they done now, where it's like a lot of people are kind of like, so some people probably love it. I was like mixed on it, because it was like you have this opinion of what Boba Fett is, and then he's like this like villainous character, and then he turns out to be this good guy in this sequel TV show. And I think it's maybe just like one of them things where we'll never, whatever they would have put down on a plate after the OG trilogy, it would have just been, no one would have liked it. I think because we loved that original set of movies so much, and we put them on like a pedestal, and then anything that comes after it is just kind of like, because it's the same with the sequels. I don't think there's anyone who's ever said like, oh, I adore this over the originals. So I think everyone's always going to say the OG. I think the majority of people anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sequel trilogy is probably like one of the worst like trilogies in the Star Wars franchise. Like I think the only decent one in that whole trilogy is probably got to be Force Awakens, because it's basically just A New Hope. It's basically what it is, right? So
it's a good film.
It's a good film. It's just like that had just so much big coming from Finn's character. They were building it so up to the hype. I was like, oh yeah, are we finally to see like one of the stormtroopers actually like force sensitive, like running the movie?
Yeah.
Just realized it was actually Rey all along. I was like, what? I was like, come on, right? You see this guy, right, trying to use a lightsaber about the whole film, right? You had this on the marketing for right, and you don't even like get. You don't even get like half of it with them in. So basically, I would say it was false advertising, in a way, which I believe it was false advertising. Like when that film come out, because I think Daisy Ridley, was it Daisy Fisher or
Daisy Ridley?
Yeah, I'm getting mixed up with Carrie Fisher. Daisy Ridley. I didn't think she was right for the role. But she could have been. Like, she could have been if the scripts were written properly.
What do you think, Phil? What are your thoughts on Daisy Ridley, Phil? Are you a fan of her? Or?
No, she can't act. Like that. I just think like all these talented young actresses who were about her age when that was made, and you picked that black hole of charisma to play the part. No, what are you doing? Just so wouldn't.
You know what? I was going to say, she does seem a bit wooden, and she's not really done much since. I mean, I've not really seen her in anything. I know she's done that one with the Spider-Man guy. I can't forget. And not Andrew Garfield. She's done some sci-fi movie, didn't she? But I've never seen it.
Was it Chaos Walking?
That was the one. Yeah. Is it any good?
No. I don't even watch it. I just know it's rubbish.
Right. Okay.
So,
I've not seen her in any. I mean, she's obviously they're doing the new ones now, aren't they, with her, and maybe she's like her acting performances will get better. I don't think she was like the world's worst actress, but I agree. I think she was in that first movie in particular. She was a bit wooden. Definitely.
I think the problem with Lucasfilm and like it's like it's all got to do with Kathleen Kennedy, like interfering with these projects. Like, Star Wars has got to be this, it's got to be that, right? Even though George Lucas had a whole plan, right, all together, he gave them that plan, and what they've done, let's just scrap this plan and just make it their own, and it just failed. It just failed like where they were going to take with these characters, And plus, like the whole with Rise of Skywalker. That's a whole situation. Return of J.J. Abrams returning as the director after the traumatic experience of The Last Jedi. But it's just literally Star Wars lost all hope in that film. Literally, let's bring a character back. Let's have Palpatine come back. It's not the real Palpatine, even though he died. We've got his clone instead. It's like, what's going on here? What's going on here? Out of all the characters you would have brought back, you brought bloody Palpatine back. Wait, you could have easily brought Darth Maul. Right, wait a minute, Darth Maul could have been in that. Oh no,
it was either Palpatine or Jar Jar Binks, mate.
Come on, I would have loved Jar Jar Binks as like Darth Jar Jar Binks. Like, yeah, come on, let's bring it on. No, literally, we'll just change his voice up a bit, right? Instead of have that ridiculous voice, give him like a more like darker tone,
Yeah.
And see him finally kick some ass or something. But like Adam Driver, about that whole trilogy, he was just not right for that.
Oh, right. Whoa. No way. No, not a chance.
He's one of the only good things.
Yeah, I'm with Phil there, mate. That Adam Driver, he was awesome.
Look, I like Adam Driver. I thought his character without the whole trilogy wasn't that menacing. I was like, what's going on here? They're just doing the whole Darth Vader thing. Oh yeah, like or Darth Vader. He started off as a good person till he went to like. He went to the dark side of the Force. But what happened to his son? What happened to his grandson, aka Ben Solo? As everyone know, Kylo Ren. He was just mad for no reason at all. He was just mad. He just didn't know what was going on at that certain time because he believed that Luke Skywalker killed other Padawans, like that kind of thing. That's what I was starting to notice. I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. It was just him thinking of something different. Oh yeah, he's got there's something dark inside of this, in Ben Solo. Oh yeah, well, Han Solo died for no reason at all. I was like, he didn't even hate his dad.
He died because Harrison Ford wouldn't come back unless they killed him off. Like that's
Nah, man, you shouldn't have killed him off. They should have just put him back into stasis. That's what they should have just done. Just freeze him again. Like that's what they should have done. And then just just leave him there. That's the end of his character. Send him back. Yeah. Send him back being frozen. At least his character would be in peace. And and what I also I'm just saying now before I get on anything before you get on everything else, right? Is that Carrie Fisher should have known how to use the Force, even though she was Force sensitive. She should have got training from Luke. Oh yeah, finally we can see Leia instead of using a gun throughout the whole bloody trilogy. We could have got her using a lightsaber. Oh no, we got nothing. She was just there. When in the new trilogy, she was just there. It's like, to be honest, right? I said to myself, I will never ever rewatch the sequel trilogy again, and I never did. Last time I saw them, was 2019. And I'll never go back ever since. I'll just watch the OG trilogy, which is the only solid, trilogy out of the whole Star Wars franchise.
And the prequels. What about the prequels? You watch them as well?
Yeah, well, of course, I'll watch the prequels because, I like the third one, so I've got to give credit on that. So there you go. And plus, I like Rogue One. Rogue One is an absolute brilliant standalone story.
Super.
But Solo, a Star Wars story, does not exist.
I love that film. I think it's good. I think it's a good film, that one. But anyway, let's cast our votes, gents. OG Spider-Man, Star Wars. We both know that Ryan's a big fan of the Star Wars franchise, especially the sequel trilogy. We know he's a big fan of. But the prequels versus the OG Spider-Man. Phil, I'm going to go with yourself first. Which one is your favourite trilogy out of those two, buddy?
I'm going to say Spider-Man. I do enjoy the prequels to varying degrees, but I'd say Spider-Man, I think, is a more better series of films, to be honest.
Yeah. Ryan, what about yourself? Spider-Man? Or... I mean, what's your favourite Spider-Man movie? Which one do you say? Which one's your favourite out of them three?
Mine has got to be the second one.
Second
it's just
one.
Definitely with that, with the famous. Just remind me. Thought I had a message to say. It's got to be the second one where you just see, Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, trying to stop that. Trying to stop the train from falling off the on the tracks. That was incredible, right?
Yeah.
When he stops that, he literally damaged himself right there. Even though when he was doing that, he was still going through losing his powers as well, because he didn't. He tried his best, So the scene, just seeing Spider-Man walking from top of the people, just looking out for him. He's just people will respect him for who he is. So I've got to say Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man trilogy.
You know what? This is a tough one for me because I'm a big Star Wars fan as well.
Yeah.
But I think after watching them, I think I got to go with Spider-Man as well, because I think after watching that, after Phil mentioned it, going back to Spider-Man 2, I watched that time. I used to really like the first one the best out of that trilogy, but then I think watching that, you know what? I do like Star Wars as well. But no, I'm going to go with Spider-Man as well. Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
I think the prequels to Star Wars, I think it's great because it's set the groundwork for what they're doing with the TV shows now. I think it's great. I don't think they're especially brilliant movies, but I think what they set in the groundwork for the future of Star Wars, it's paying off now at this moment in time. And I do like them movies. I don't love them, but I enjoy them.
Yeah.
But Spider-Man, I think the first two are solid. The third one is not great, but I think the first two are so good they make up for the appalling third movie. Them first two movies are really solid films. Like Green Goblin, we didn't even get to Green Goblin. Yeah, that's Ryan's got the disc on his. Oh, he's got. Oh, Phil's got them as well. They've both got the discs.
I've got Star Wars as well.
Oh, these gents are preferred. They've got the look at this. Oh, sweet.
Oh, he's got them off, here. He's showing them off now. Oh, yeah.
Hey, man. Hey, go for it. Show them off, man. Show them off. But yeah, I think we're all in agreement then. Spider-Man is the winner of the battle between Spider-Man and Star Wars, the prequel. So now we are going to go to the next battle, and it is the Planet of the Apes reboot that was 2011, 2014, and 2017. A reboot of the classic Planet of the Apes franchise. We had the Tim Burton one a few years earlier, like early 2000s or something like that, or I think it was 2001, wasn't it? And that was, I think they tried to do a reboot there. It didn't pay off, even though I really like that movie. I think it's a solid film, and it definitely, the ending of that really warranted a movie. It should have had a sequel in some form, maybe it'd been like a comic book or something like that. I don't know if you've ever done like a comic book or something like that, but I would have loved to have seen a conclusion to that ending. But yeah, so the reboots 2011 to 2017, we have Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and it finishes with War for the Planet of the Apes. And then that is going up against the Dark Knight trilogy, Christopher Nolan's directed trilogy starring Christian Bale, obviously Heath Ledger as the Joker in the second movie, and this was 2005, Batman Begins. Dark Knight was 2008, and Dark Knight Rises was 2012. So different, obviously, there's a bit of, they come out, the last Dark Knight movie comes out a year after the first Planet of the Apes reboot movie comes out. Personally, yeah, I'm a big fan of the franchise. I love the original. I think they get a bit wacky, a bit cheesy than Planet of the Apes movies. I think the first two are probably the most solid, because then they just go like a bit weird, especially when the apes are going to planet Earth in present day and stuff like that. And it's they're not awful, but they're not like spectacular. Like the first one is just a masterpiece of a movie, and even the TV show. I think the TV show is great as well. The
TV show is really good.
That's a solid show. That I really enjoyed that. I thought when I watched that. I've only seen it once, but I really like that. But that's great. But yeah, I love the franchise, and I was a bit like cautious because I really like the Tim Burton remake as well. I thought that was a really good film, very different, same sort of story, but it felt different enough. It didn't feel like it was like a copy and paste remake. It was like it did its own thing with that story, with the Mark Wahlberg one. And so reboots, they do it, and they have live action. They're using mocap technology, so it's not like the actors in makeup anymore, wearing masks and stuff like that. They go a totally different route with it. They go more like CGI, like Gollum. They get Andy Serkis in there to play the leading ape, Caesar. And this one, rather than the stories being about the humans going into a planet and, a strange planet full of apes, this one's kind of like set on present day and the development of that world becoming on Planet of the Apes. And it takes more of the point of view of the character of Caesar, played by Andy Serkis, becoming that, that ape who's intelligent. And then you're seeing the apes slowly grow intelligence, don't you, through the movies. And I think it's great. And then obviously Dark Knight is just a totally different shift with Christian Bale in there, totally different from the George Clooney, the Val Kilmer, Tim Burton ones. More serious, totally different genre, and they're just amazing. I mean, Dark Knight for me, just the best cinema experience ever. Absolutely love it. I always go back and still remember the experience of that, and I just love them films. But I'm going to start off with Phil. First of all, Planet of the Apes, mate. What are you a fan of the franchise as a whole? And you said you've seen the TV show, the originals. Where are you at with Planet of the Apes?
Planet of the Apes is my favorite franchise ever, probably. Like, I love even the really bad ones, I still love, just because it's Planet of the Apes. Like, if you talk to my friends, they will tell you I can go on about Planet of the Apes for hours.
Yes.
Really?
We've only got another hour.
That's one thing. Cause I haven't seen like all the old ones yet.
Yeah.
I've seen the first one. I haven't seen the sequels yet. Right.
Yeah.
But I've seen the remake that they did with Tim Burton.
Yeah.
And but I haven't seen War for the Planet of the Apes. Well, just to say.
Yeah.
So so that's the only one. Even though I've got it on DVD somewhere floating around in that cupboard. Yeah. So like,
you're in for a treat, mate. You're in for a treat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you feel about the reboots, Phil? Did you like? What did you think of them? First of all, compared to the originals? I mean, you like into them straight away? Did you feel like it was too different, or?
I was trepidatious when the first one, Rise, came out. I was a bit trepidatious because like you say, they were using CGI instead of like the makeup, and I was like, the makeup in the originals, it was at James Franco, who's an actor I normally can't stand. There's only 3 things I can stand James Franco in. We've talked about 2 of them already. The third one's Freaks and Geeks, which is a fantastic TV series, but I'll not go into that. Also, it was kind of a remake of Conquest of Planet Apes, which is the 4th one, where Caesar basically is the first intelligent ape, and he like leads an ape revolution, and I really loved that one. So I was trepidatious, but I didn't see it in the cinema. But I saw it when it came on DVD, and I did think it was good. It was a good film. I liked it. I do. and this is something that I feel about all three of them. I do miss some of the humor from the original films because the original films had this kind of satirical undercurrent.
Yeah, definitely.
That's missing in the new ones. The new ones are a lot more serious, but still, that's just me. But they're still very good. Dawn, I went to see in the cinema. I really loved that. I thought it was the best one since the original.
That's the
It's
second one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Don't stop
And
Planet Apes. Yeah, I remember seeing that one.
And then Wall, I saw that, and then I thought this one's even better. That one was the best one since the original. Like they're just each one got progressively better. I thought because normally with trilogies they get progressively worse, but with this one I think it got better each one, and like they are really really great. And the CGI, even though I miss the the ape the CGI is fantastic. Like the third one, there were parts where I forgot it's like CGI. Like I thought it was a real ape I was watching. That's how good they were. So really, really, really like them. Yeah.
I said to Ryan last night, Phil, that War, because Ryan, you're not seen the last one, have you? War for the Planet of the Apes.
No, I haven't really got around to watching it yet because even though I am a big massive nerd like for half of these like big massive franchises and stuff like that, but you see, I normally like dive into the horror franchise half the time, but I'm a big massive action fan as well when it comes to Arnie and stuff like that. But like with Planet of the Apes, like for me, is that I've only seen the first one. I've only seen I've seen the remake. I've seen Rise and I've seen Dawn. So I can easily talk about them. But when it comes to War, I'll probably say like, what are they talking about now? Like that kind of thing. But it's always been that franchise. I really love like how these movies develop.
Yeah.
Like in a whole. But sometimes I literally like face out. Wait a minute, so if you're looking from Rise for over a sudden, when you find out how they gain their intelligence, it's because remember they were in that lab, weren't they? Like the big massive like laboratory, aka prison, which I'm going to say it's just basically an animal abusive like kind of center, which I do with these apes, like releasing this like kind of like gas, which I believe it was to knock them out. But I think somehow it gives Caesar a bit of intelligence due to like what's being experimented in that actual laboratory, which I've noticed. I'm just basically just thinking from the top of my head, but I'm doing really good here. Like once he takes it in for this chemical, like inside of him, he begins to his intelligence starts to get incredible. Like how these apes develop. They don't want to be abused anymore. That like humans literally just do this, for no reason at all. They're just doing it for experimental purposes, which you do see in the first one, and being able to see them to fight back, it's just incredible. They just want to be free. They just want to live, in the wild where they were supposed to be, which they've done. And that even the other apes got this like this chemical basis as well, and you just see this whole develop. Even the second one, which I've got to say is one hell of a good development for the apes before, not humans. The one I think are they drilling for like oil and stuff like that? I think they believe it was, or was it water? I'm trying to remember now.
It's like water, isn't it? I think, because like they haven't got electricity up there and stuff like that. Everything's just like went to ruins in the world, isn't it? It's like Gary Oldman's in the second one, wasn't he? Gary Oldman.
Yeah. He plays like mostly the villain in that one, didn't he? Because I remember now. Because he wants to. I think he wants to go to war with them. I believe it was to be able to have their world back, be able to get that electricity back. But they try to make a trade with the apes to be able to get the water or get the electricity back and running. But because you remember one of the apes, went rogue and decided to go to the humans, start killing people,
Yeah.
But I think he went for weapons. I believe it was.
Was it
Yeah,
Cobra?
Cobra, yeah.
Was the
Yeah,
ape called
Yeah, I
Cobra?
think it was Cobra. Aye,
Yeah.
aye. Because he was like, oh, we should be fighting and killing like the humans and stuff like that. I remember now, and his character, well, the ape's character was very clever because he started learning English as well, like somehow because like we just learned from sign language, like grunting and stuff like that. But soon due to the future, like how far intelligent they've got, they began talking normal English and started to turn humans into slaves. So, so that's instead of animals being like more like slaves, like having like pets, we turn into the pets. Like that's what the whole Planet of the Apes like era began, and it does see that from there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's I mean it's just a cool. I think as well if you look back to that original one as well, and then you see the way, like especially I think like you said that especially that second one I think and the first one.
Yeah.
You see now how it really just it's like the development into that original first movie, isn't it? It's just like you can see it's like what they were trying to do with this reboot and I think they paid it off really well. Like, I mean, the third one's spectacular, but the first two are just as good. I mean, I think just they pay a lot of like respect to that original movie.
All the movies. Like there are parts like if you're a fan, there are like loads of little references and plot points taken from the originals that you'd pick up on if you've seen them all. So
definitely.
You can tell the people making them really love the franchise.
Yeah, I think it looks to me like because I know they got like Matt Reeves, the guy who done the Batman, didn't he, for the last two?
Second and third one.
Yeah, and I reckon it feels like you're watching them, like you were saying, Phil. Then it's like there's a lot for the fans, and I feel like these are movies that have not been like massively interfered with by like studios. I feel like they've kind of, especially in the last two, I feel like they've just let the director do what they want to do and just kind of like make something that Planet of the Apes fans really would enjoy. And I mean, they nailed it. I think they nailed it on the head. I think they made a superb trilogy, and obviously they're doing more, aren't they? I think they've said because it's Disney own it now, and they said they're going to do more of these and continue it. So hopefully they're just as good. I mean, and I what's the new one going to be called? I think they have announced it already, but I have no idea where it's
going. I can't remember.
It was a long time ago, but because Disney's got that control now, it's not going to be like what people are expecting it to be. So, like what I'm thinking about it's going to be very woke, which I'm just going to say now, as Disney is trying to be now, because everything's got to be like like everything as it was.
A woke Planet of the Apes.
Like, like find out like one of the apes is like general fluid or something like.
I'm not going into that, Reader.
That's a whole. That's a whole.
Let's talk about Dark Knight. I don't know anything on that topic, so I'm going to shift to movies.
That's a competition. That's a conversation for a different night.
Yeah.
So, moving on.
Someone who has a clue. Anyway, The Dark Knight. I mean, like I said, Christopher Nolan directs this trilogy. Starts in 2005. Batman Begins. A cracking, for me, just a really great opening origin story, and really, again, just tells a bit more rather than like a more comedy version what we've seen before in Batman, and more set in realism, like a realistic superhero, a guy who's mega rich, and he gets a suit and he becomes Batman. We get that story. We also get a shout in the background. I think that's is that your niece or something, Ryan? Is it us?
That was me niece calling. I'll be right back.
It's okay, mate. Yeah, that's fine. We'll keep on talking. But I mean, a totally different look at the Batman franchise. With just a real serious edge to it. And then you have The Dark Knight again. Heath Ledger's Joker for a lot of people stole the show, and then I think the third film, not the world's worst movie, but I think it couldn't top that. I think when you said before, like with the Planet of the Apes movies, they progressively got better each movie. I think that third movie just went down a few points on that last one for The Dark Knight. But I mean, the Dark Knight trilogy as a whole, Phil. How do you feel about it? Are you a fan of it? What do you think of the trilogy?
What do I think of them? I think Batman Begins I really like. I think it might be my favourite Batman film. I'm not sure whether it might be that or The Batman. I really like Batman Begins.
Right.
I remember seeing it at the time, but I didn't know what a reboot was, so I was very confused. I thought it was a prequel to the Tim Burton movie. So when they had like killed Batman's parents, I'm like, I thought the Joker did it. I was very, yeah, Batman Begins is phenomenal. The Dark Knight, I think, I don't know if this is a controversial statement, but I think it's not so much the film itself that's great. It's Heath Ledger that makes it great. I think the film itself is pretty good, but like he takes it. It's an all-time classic because of his performance. Like I think.
No, I agree with that. Definitely.
And Dark Knight Rises, I watched it once. I remember thinking it was okay, but I've never had the urge to watch it again. So I don't know. Can't really comment on that. I haven't seen it in about 10 years. So.
Yeah, I'm like that. I think it's one where if I go and watch them movies, I'll either watch the first one or the second one. I never tend to check out the third movie. It's just like I didn't think it was, like I said, it wasn't an awful movie. It's just it just didn't get better from that. And I think you went into it and you're just like, I remember coming out of the cinema just thinking, oh, okay, it was okay, but it wasn't like, I think we were all had seen that last movie, and maybe going into it, we were like over expecting stuff and anticipating something much better because the second one was just, I mean, like you said, it was a good film, but I think Heath Ledger's character and his acting, and obviously him passing away at that time as well, just made it even more. Yeah, and it's weird that, and it's like, is it like you said, is it a good movie or is it just like? Because I get that a lot with like, I think like I've said on the podcast before, like Good Will Hunting. I think Robin Williams' character in that movie is really good, but I don't think it's actually a good movie. And it's just, I think there's tons of movies like that where it's like, they're not like the world's worst movies, but I think like there's a character that really makes it better. And then you look at the film overall, you're like, is it actually a good movie? And maybe I've got like nostalgia glasses on with Dark Knight, maybe because just the experience of going to the cinema. Maybe in my mind it's like it's the world's best movie, but it's actually, the plot's not actually that great. It's just the fact that Ledger's just awesome as the Joker.
Although I will say, talking of performances in that film, Aaron Eckhart, I think, is also just as great as Heath Ledger. Like people kind of get forgotten about because everyone talks about Heath Ledger in that film, rightfully so. But like, I think he was just as good performance-wise. He was phenomenal as well.
Definitely. No, he was as Harvey Dent and Two-Face. He was amazing.
See, like that's what they should have focused on. I think they should have focused on Two-Face more because, like, you know, you see Harvey, Harvey Dent, just he's living the best life. You know, he's going to become the mayor, like as he was supposed to do in the comics before the whole accident. In this movie, he ends up getting his like face burned off with acid, or half of his face. Or was it? No, what was it, acid? Or was it
like burnt
something powerful, and then the fire caught on.
Yeah, because he's got his face, half his face burned off. Then you just see like the second personality, the psychological effect, like what's happening with him, because like you just absolutely hates like how he looks like. And I think like seeing that like in real life term, it's just literally amazing. And then you just see him like involved in the big massive villain, like as he is, this crime lord, which you do see him as, while you just see the Joker is just a big massive terrorist. Basically what he was. And like, to be honest, in my opinion about The Dark Knight, I enjoyed it when I was a kid. I still enjoy it, but I just don't think it's a great film. I believe it's. I'm gonna say now. I think it's overrated. Which I believe it is. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's overrated. I prefer Batman Begins with Ra's al Ghul. With Liam Neeson. Plus, you had Scarecrow, which was just there most of the time.
Phil said this. Phil said this. You said like the Batman and Batman Begins are like to your favourites, didn't you? You said
Yeah.
before, like,
Yeah.
I love the Batman is really good. I really enjoyed that. But I think the problem with that film right there, it's too long. I'm just gonna say now.
Yeah.
Like,
Could have had about 10 minutes or 20 minutes cut out, probably.
I think for me, I think it's like, oh yeah, if you're making this into a detective story, it's like I would say 2 hours would probably be the maximum for for like Batman movie. But due to like movies are getting longer and people want to see more, it's like I can tell why. But I think nearly 3 hours is a bit too long, in my opinion, because you got the adverts as well, because that gets like extended on anyway. So you're sitting there for more, you know. And like I just think with like, you know, The Dark Knight, I think that could have been shorter as well, which I wish I think it should have. Like that could have easily just been like 2 hours. Like, you know, it's like, you know, quick, fast paced, get everyone excited, but it's that extra half hour that just takes it out the park. Oh yeah, what happened to the Joker? Well, we know what happened to the Joker. You got I just don't. I do like Heath Ledger as the Joker. I think he was brilliant, but I think because like due to his death, like all that kind of stuff, you know, which I'm just going to say, respect his soul. I just think the whole like thing with that is like after people were just like, oh, this movie's a masterpiece, like like stuff like that when it was coming out. I was like, he just Heath Ledger played a character in a movie. That's basically what it was, the Joker. But I felt this version of the Joker wasn't the Joker. I just felt he wasn't the Joker. It had nothing to do with who the Joker was. He was just a crazy bank robber. Like trying to, he gets money and then he ends up burning it all. You know, or he burned his half.
Yeah, I mean, compared to like even like if you compare like Jared Leto's Joker, I think like Joaquin Phoenix one's a bit more legendary, but like a lot of them they're not like the classic Joker, are they? I suppose like
Jack
you could
Nicholson.
say everyone's going to be different, isn't it? And it doesn't, you know, the Joker is whoever you want to put on screen. It's the interpretation, but it wasn't Joker-esque, like, but it was still good. Like I enjoyed it.
I think with me is I think the Joker. I think the best on-screen Joker, which I'm just literally just gonna say now, and there's literally 2 people I'm just gonna say. Cesar Romero. That's the original Joker. Well, I wouldn't say he was the original Joker because I remember from like the 90s and from the 40s and that, like because they had done their own thing. But I think the proper OG Joker is Cesar Romero, and his character was very comic-like during not during the serious era, but set during like when he was mostly like doing tricks and stuff like that kind of stuff. Like,
Silver Age.
As that Joker, but while you see the more on-screen Joker, like the more comic accurate is got to be Jack Nicholson's Joker. And like that's the best version of the Joker that we got.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, he was so like even because that's the best thing, because like nobody knows the true identity of the Joker in the comics anyway. That's why they put their own interpretations, like who the Joker is for films. So
there's no fixed origin, is there, for the Joker? It's just like a guy. It can be anyone, can't it? Really?
Yeah, like literally anyone could be the Joker.
Yeah.
Anyone. You know, like for like it's whole different universes like out there who's got the Joker anyway. Like you know, you got Arthur Fleck, but that's mostly a psychological term of the Joker. You know, while you got like the whole chemical process, you know, with like Jack Nicholson and Jared Leto, but with Jared Leto, it's a whole different situation because I just don't like his interpretation. I think like everyone does like his interpretation with all the tattoos and stuff, but I just got it's always got to be the batch of chemicals, like where he falls in. That's how the Joker was born.
In the it's always been established in the comics. That's how he became. I mean, the origins. There's no definite thing, but it's always been he's fallen in some chemicals.
Yeah, like
that's why white skin.
see, like there's so many adaptations of how the Joker became to be. You know, like he was just like a normal guy. He was just a normal comedian, like getting into some trouble. He was also the original Red Hood.
Yeah.
As well. Like that's been something, but nobody will know who's like the Joker is, and that's what's good what DC done. It's something new. I do not want to know who the actual Joker is. It's always been a good mystery. It's a good story point. Just leave it as that, right? The Joker is meant to be a menace, right?
Yeah.
He kills people, but that is his thing. He's just obsessed with Batman, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I want to see. While if you're looking at like Jokers now, they just try to make it more psychotic.
I think that was the thing with that Joker movie as well. That was like that as well. It felt like they were just totally going away from what you were saying, where it was like he falls into the pit. It was more like this just guy who's crazy.
Yeah, it was. That was the Joker, and it was very much a riff on like Taxi Driver and the King of Comedy. It was basically like the main characters characters Robert De Niro played in those, like a hybrid more than the Joker.
Yeah.
I like Joker quite a bit, but it was like it's more of a he's more Travis Bickle than the Joker, really.
Yeah,
definitely.
See, like when it comes to the sequel as well, like that's a weird situation. Like you got Lady Gaga playing Harley Quinn, like Harley Quinn's now.
Yeah, it's gonna be. It is. I'm not. I don't mind the odd musical, but I think I'm tapped out of this Joker thing. I don't want to see it.
See, this is a problem. It's like, okay, but the whole Harley Quinn thing, like, okay, this is a bit weird. Like, Harley Quinn doesn't meet the Joker until like later on.
Yeah.
Like, later on, like when Bruce Wayne is actually Batman, while the Joker was born when Batman was there. So this doesn't make sense. Like, so is this new movie set later, like so many years later? Like, is the Joker more older now? Are we going to see Batman in that universe?
I don't think you will. I don't think so.
It just doesn't make sense. Like, oh yeah, you have Thomas Wayne, you have little Bruce Wayne, right?
Yeah.
You say, right, okay, right? Wait a minute. So, how comes is Thomas Wayne still alive, even though he should have died?
No, did he die in Joker?
I can't remember. I don't think he died.
No, he does. Yeah.
Did he die?
Thomas Wayne, they get at the end. The Thomas Wayne, they get gunned down by some random guy who's inspired by the Joker. I think.
Oh, so you see the origin story then? That's like the.
Yeah, kind of. Although I'm now picturing like in the second one, like a little kid dressed up as Batman running around.
Singing musical songs.
Oh Christ! Almighty! No, like I'm saying is, if I see like a version of Batman in that film, all right, like okay, isn't it? If this is said during like a couple of years later, isn't that kid still meant to be in school and stuff? Like that's okay. That doesn't make sense. Oh yeah, this little kid is Batman.
Yeah, the movie's going to be the Joker going up to the kid Bruce Wayne and saying like, you should be in school right now, Bruce Wayne. You should not be like going around singing musical numbers, pretending to be a guy in a suit and calling yourself Batman. Get back to school. That's what the sequel's probably going to be like.
You can't stop me. You have to do my homework. You have to do your homework.
That's a sequel right there.
Well, like I'm saying, there's been a rumor, right, that Bradley Cooper is going to play, Two-Face in the actual Joker 2. It's been
I can
rumored.
see that. I can see that. He's done stuff with Lady Gaga, hasn't he? With the what was that one he did a few years back? The musical one. The can't think of what it's called now.
Star is Born.
Yeah. But anyway, Planet of the Apes, gents. Dark Knight then. What do we think? We got the 3 Planet of the Apes movies versus the Dark Knight trilogy. I think both of these are definitely solid trilogies. Where'd you stand? Ryan, I'm going to go with you first. What do you think?
Right.
What are you going with?
For me, I am going to say Planet of the Apes because I
Yeah.
do like the Dark Knight trilogy, but it's not my favorite version of Batman. I like Christian Bale as Batman, but I think that franchise is a bit too serious for someone like him. So even that's one thing. Oh, it's still going to be action, right? But if you're looking from like Matt Reeves' Batman, which is like more the detective side, how Batman is supposed to be in the comics, that's what I like. Yeah, that's Batman for me. Because even though they've done another film with the Riddler as a serial killer, even though he is a serial killer in the comics anyway, that fits a lot. Yeah, this is a Batman movie, right? But I think Christopher Nolan was trying to make it more realistic, like in real life. I just felt like, nah, I like the first one. Batman Begins is good. I do like the Dark Knight, but it's a little bit of a cringe movie now. But the Dark Knight Rises was the only one I've seen in the cinema when I was 12. So I'm just gonna say one of the worst movies made of all time. So I'll never rewatch that again. But for me, it's got to be the Planet of the Apes reboot trilogy. I just think it's brilliant, even though I haven't seen the last one.
Well, I mean, like I said, you're in for a treat, mate. Phil, what about you, buddy? What choice, Dark Knight or the reboots of the Planet of the Apes movies? Both reboots, really, aren't they?
I'm going to go with Apes, not just because it's my favorite franchise, but also because I like all three Apes movies. Whereas Dark Knight, I like the first two, but I'm kind of on the third one, so mathematically, Apes wins.
I mean, obviously, we know Planet of the Apes is going through now. Again, I love that trilogy of the Dark Knight. I do like it. And like I said, I think the third one doesn't really pay off.
No.
Like, especially well, but Planet of the Apes is just flawless for me. I think it just gets better. Like Phil said, every movie gets better. And I think it just pays so much honor to the original movies. I think it builds upon them. And yeah, they made a spectacular trilogy. The last two especially are amazing. So Planet of the Apes is going through. So we're going to see in the final head-to-head the OG Spider-Man trilogy versus Planet of the Apes, the reboots, to find out which one is the best and battle of the movie trilogies. I'm going to do this now with picking our favorite movies and kind of the favorite parts. So, I mean, I think both of you said Spider-Man 2. Is that an agreement? Would you say is your favorite one?
Yeah.
Of the Spider-Man trilogy? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And
I would say that, yeah.
I mean, I know you've not seen the third one, Ryan, but out of the first two Planet of the Apes movies, which one's your favorite?
For me, I'm going to say Dawn for the Planet of the Apes. Or
So
Dawn
second
of the
one.
Planet of the Apes. Yeah, like absolutely brilliant. Like the way these like apes are living. You know, they're living in the forest. They're free. You know, they're just living the best life. You know, while you got the humans like want to come up to the forest, like to ruin like their reputation. They want to start a war, like with the apes, which like began the whole situation with War for the Planet of the Apes in the first place. So that's how intriguing, like how it's an ongoing story, which is really good. While in the Batman, it's just like every couple of years Batman retires for some reason. I was like, what's going on? Yeah, Batman is meant to be like, you know, like every single year, which basically is he doesn't take a break as Batman unless he's going on holiday with you know, Catwoman or something, or like living the best life, you know. Like he's got like, you know, Batman and like, you know, you got like Robin, Batgirl and that, which we never got saw Robin. Right, I was like, okay, it's just a bit ridiculous, but you know, it's just I think the Dawn of the Planet of the Planet of the Apes reboot are more solid. I just got to say that.
What about you, Phil? Out of the three Planet of the Apes movies, which one's your favourite? Would you say it was the last one or second?
Yeah, the last one. War. I like it. Yeah, I think it's the best one. Also, I really love it because Woody Harrelson's like the bad guy. And he's kind of channeling Colonel Kurtz from Apocalypse Now, and Apocalypse Now is one of my favourite films, so I love that aspect of it too. But it's just a really great film all round.
So, I mean, with these, Sue, I think to decide the winner, we can only decide one way. And that is, if you're on a desert island, gents, you're in a plane, and you've got your own personal plane, and something goes wrong. We'll go with Castaway style here. Plane goes down, you're on an island with your little football called Wilson, but you've got a DVD player, and you can play one movie for the rest of the time. We'll say one movie, and then that links to the whole trilogy. But Spider-Man 2, your Spider-Man movie, or your Planet of the Apes movie, Phil, what would you go for? The movie that you can only watch forevermore on the island.
Between those two, Spider-Man 2. Yeah.
Spider-Man 2. Would you not want the the Planet of the Apes having that Planet of the Apes goodness? Like the nostalgia for that franchise you love. Or is it got to be Spider-Man 2? Because is it just a perfect movie?
I really do. As much as I love Planet of the Apes, Spider-Man 2, I do love Spider-Man 2 a lot. So I'll go for that.
Okay. Okay. Right, Ryan, what about you, mate? You're on an island. You've been going around trying to pick up pineapples. You've had a bad day. You didn't get any coconuts. And you want to go and sit down, have a chill. And you're like, you're so angry you haven't got your coconuts, but you think, I'm going to put a movie on to cheer me up. Is it going to be your Planet of the Apes movie, or is it going to be your Spider-Man 2? What are you going to go with?
I'm Spider-Man 2.
You got Spider-Man 2 as well?
I Spider-Man 2, it's one of the best Spider-Mans of the whole of history, man.
Plus the thing is, too, is sorry.
It's okay, right? Go on, Phil.
I'm saying, plus, like, if you're on a desert island, Planet Apes is kind of grim, so you want to watch something cheerful, like Spider-Man.
What if you've had a good day with coconuts? So you've got a load of coconuts, Phil, and you're having a great day.
Well, I don't know.
See, with the amount of coconuts that fall down from that tree, didn't I? If you might get knocked out by one of the coconuts.
Yeah.
Like how it will hit on your head. So it's got. Still, man. It's for me. It's always going to be Spider-Man 2 for me because it's always been there for my childhood. You know,
Yeah.
like,
Same with you, Phil.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's just.
I'm gonna say, guy. I'll be honest with you. This is what I'm gonna disagree with you on this one. Just to the point, I agree with you because, like, if you're on an island, you maybe want something that's like it's got a bit of everything, I think Spider-Man 2 for that, it's got everything. But
yeah,
I think that movie. I mean, if I one movie, I'm gonna watch because Spider-Man 2 is good as well, though. But no, I'm gonna trust me. I'm gonna say War of the Planet of the Apes. That would be mine. But I agree. I think that's such a tough. I think Spider-Man 2's got everything as well, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But you know what that means? The winner of Battle of the Movie Trilogies 2023 is the Spider-Man OG Trilogy, gents. Did the best one win?
Yes.
I think overall, I think it is a pretty decent trilogy, and I think it's deserving of the prize. We'll send Sam Raimi and Tobey Maguire a letter of congratulations. Let them know if they've won.
A little movie cheer trophy.
Yeah, they'll be excited. Let's get to some of the live comments in the chat. We've got John, aka the Lone Wolf. How you doing, John? Hope you're doing, mate. Good, well. He said, even guys. He said, what are we talking about? We're doing the trilogies today, and we've got our winner, John. If you've not watched it from the start, check out, mate. And it's been a great episode so far. I really enjoyed it. Let's see. I mean, John has also said he said, any thoughts on the Jurassic Park trilogy? I mean, that's another one. I didn't even think about including that, but I mean, thoughts on that? I mean, Ryan, what did you think of the Jurassic Park movies? Are you a fan?
Oh, I'm very critical on this. I only like the first two in the trilogy, which I'm going to say from Jurassic Park. So I think because the second one is like a whole different situation because this is like a different island, like where the original Jurassic Park is. This is just like the testing site, testing like island where they just put like all the like the all the experimentations that went wrong in a way.
Yeah.
And I felt like it was just brilliant, like where they were taking this. They were exploring this new island. They were going to destroy this island, going to blow it up, which led them for all the dinosaurs getting sent to America, literally getting chaos and stuff like that. But I think the problem is like with Jurassic Park 3, it's like they're going back to the same island again. I was like, this is just the same story I've seen before, but except for it's an hour and a half.
Yeah,
It's like, what's going on here? And Sam Neill, it's like all of the sorts. He ends up like getting divorced or something. Well, this like whole series, he's just like off doing his own thing, And you have this little kid eating chocolate crunch bars. While he was like it was all about getting some bloody kid off the island. Like what? It's not.
Oh,
it's like
I'll have to watch it again. I'll have to watch that third one.
Oh, like seriously, it's absolutely atrocious. I don't even know how some people do enjoy it, some people don't.
Yeah.
I'm part of that majority that doesn't like it at all. But the first one is absolutely brilliant. Like for like the first time mixing like animatronics and CGI with the dinosaurs, and it just works so well. But I've got to say the problem with Jurassic World, which is another point because it's part of the same franchise, is that the first one is the only good one. Right, I really enjoyed it. They brought the pod back to life.
Yeah,
but they ended up doing experiments on, doing the Indominus Rex. Mixing was it Raptor? I believe it is.
Yeah, they do Raptor, don't they? I think so.
Raptor and Tyrannosaurus Rex DNA together. I was like, oh yeah, this is something new. This is where you started off, and then we'll go to Fallen Kingdom.
See, I didn't think that one. Is that the second one? Is it the second one?
Yeah, the second one, Fallen Kingdom. Yeah, I've seen that twice.
I thought it was like they were trying to do something a bit different there, but I mean that Jurassic World trilogy just wasn't for me. To be honest, I prefer the originals. They're a lot better. I think they're way better than Jurassic. I think, like you said, Ryan, the first Jurassic World was kind of like The Force Awakens. It kind of like lent a bit from the originals and kind of like just it was like this is the reboot and it's like let's start fresh and kind of give the original fans what they want and then give the new fans something there as well. But yeah, I think the second one was okay, but that last one was garbage. Yeah, I can get into that.
Dominion. Not mate. That's literally just like that's just a nostalgia trip. That's basically what it is. It's just all about nostalgia.
Yeah.
And like even I haven't seen it, right? And that even got an extended cut as well. I was it's only an extra 10 minutes. It's only an extra 10 minutes.
Yeah. Well, how you feel? Are you a fan of the Jurassic Park trilogy?
So I've only seen the first three Jurassic Park. I didn't watch any of the Jurassic World. Jurassic Park is, it's a classic. It is really good. Give me some phobias though. Before I go into that, Lost World. I don't really like that one because the heroes are like idiots. Bad guys are like more like the heroes are such idiots that I actually root for the bad guys in that film.
Right.
Become more nom.
3 is what I call a hotel room movie, which is basically you're in a hotel. There's no Wi-Fi. You're just stuck with whatever's on basic Freeview.
Yeah.
And you see, and it's something that you see on there, and you put it on, and you think, yeah, it's okay. You passes the time. That's how I think about it. It's like if there's nothing else to watch, you put it on, and it's like, yeah, that's okay. So
yeah. Big thanks to John for the question on that. We've also got Pete in the chat. Played Tendo Guy. How you doing, Pete? You okay, matey? He said, evening, AP and everyone. Trust me to jump in when Ryan's gone walkabouts.
Yeah.
I think it was...
Yeah, because Manish was shouting for her, so I had to come down and say hello. Plus, like, she wanted to set her like headset up. I was like, your headset's battery's dead. You need to charge it up. So, plus I'll have to connect it to the Bluetooth as well. So I said I'll have to do that later on. So, but just playing a game at the minute, so it's not that bad. Well, you can't really do much of anything. I get distracted. I have to go down and see what's going on, but. You know, kids at the end of the day.
That's it. Well, big thank you to everyone in the live chat so far. Like I said, if you listen to this on replay, get your comments in on today's headline topic. Now we are going to go to the next segment of today's show, which is Case Cover Collision.
Case covers take on other case covers. Can you handle that? Case Cover Collision. Case Cover Collision.
Case Cover Collision. Each and every week, we choose a different movie and look at the different case covers for that movie and put them up against each other to find out which one is the best on Case Cover Collision. Now, this week on the show, luckily I'm joined by two awesome special guest co-hosts who help me judge these case covers, and we're going to be looking at the Mission Impossible movie, the first Mission Impossible movie. It's basically he's having an upcoming 4K release. I think it's coming out next month or the month after. It's gonna. I think they're all actually getting like new releases as well. But so I mean, 1996 that movie came out. Such for me just a great series. I think they're all just been fantastic movies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I still can't believe it's 1996, but it came out, that original one. It's crazy that that's like it's been out that long now. Like, but thoughts on the movie, gents? Ryan, are you a big fan of the first Mission Impossible and the franchise?
I'm just gonna say I'm not a big fan of the first Mission Impossible. I know it's the first time introducing Ethan Hunt, even though it's the first movie to bring the Mission Impossible to the big screen, even though it was a 60s television series back then, because that's where it started off. So seeing Tom Cruise, which is like, I'm not really I do like Tom Cruise to a certain extent, but I think he's just an absolute knobhead, which I'm just going to say there, right? He's a bit stuck up. That's big, what he is. Like, he's a bit stuck up, but I do enjoy his acting, which I'm going to say now, where he does like his own like stunts and stuff.
Yeah, he's awesome. What about you, Phil? Are you a fan of the first movie and the movie and the whole franchise as well, buddy?
It's one of those things where it's one of those franchises where I watched the movie once and I enjoy it, but then I never really have the urge to go back. But yeah, they're pretty good. I've enjoyed. 2 was a bit, but I enjoyed all the other ones. Actually, no, I didn't see what was the last one? Number 6. I didn't see Fallout, but the first 5 are really
great. Fallout.
Yeah, it's good.
Fallout, which I'm just going to say now, is probably one of the best ones, which I'm going to say now.
Yeah, I agree with Ryan. Really, really solid with that one.
I'm just going to say now, right, about Mission Impossible. I have not seen Mission Impossible 3, directed by J.J. Abrams.
Oh, mate, that's a good one. That is another one.
That's right. Look, I've watched half of it. I've seen half of it, but I turned it off because I just thought it was boring.
Oh, give it another watch, mate. That's a solid movie.
I think Mission Impossible for me is when it started from Ghost Protocol. That's when it just started to go insane.
That's a good movie. Yeah, that is a good movie.
It's just like that whole sequence of Ethan Hunt just getting out of prison. It's like, isn't that a kick in the head or something? Like, what's going on there? It was like, okay, this is brilliant, yeah. But I think Fallout is just like what a spy movie was supposed to be. Like that espionage kind of feeling.
Definitely. It's got a totally different tone to the rest of them.
It's like, see, with Mission Impossible, it's just basically just a modern day James Bond, which is basically what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, for the new era. But like like what I'm going to say, it is coming to an end.
Mm.
With the next two part, was it Dot Reckoning? I think it is.
Yeah.
Part 1 and 2. Yeah.
Part 1 and part 2. It's like, okay, we're getting the two part treatment, which I
I can't
believe
wait.
like you could have just done it in one movie, but like, okay, we're getting the two parts. But so I'm looking forward for it. It comes out in July, even though June is the big month for films. This year, which it really is. There's so many stuff coming out. Really, I wish it was coming out in June instead of July, but because that would have been amazing. But plus, it's competition with like Indiana Jones and stuff like that. What's coming out? So
of course.
like Spider-Man. What else was coming out in June? Because that is a big month.
Probably a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Marvel? No. There's no Marvel movie coming out. Oh no, The Flash is coming out, man. That's what it was.
Oh,
The Flash.
yeah.
There's that one in there. Yeah. There's always a big superhero movie somewhere in the mix. But we have got 3 case covers to look at today, gents. The 4K that's coming out, the original DVD, and the Blu-ray 25th anniversary cover as well. We're going to start off with the new 4K, gents. So, first of all, like I said, these are new releases. I'll put a link in the bio description on the replay if you want to purchase through an Amazon link. A small percentage through that sale goes to the Movie J Pod, helps the podcast to grow, and I always appreciate your support. Mission Impossible here, this new case cover, I really like. I love this case cover. I'll be honest with you. It's got a lot of flair to it. You got Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt, a real big close-up shot of him here, and then it looks like a painted background, and you see underneath him at the top of the screen his name, Tom Cruise in red, and then M1 for Mission Impossible. MI, sorry, for Mission Impossible, and then underneath that in really small lettering of Mission Impossible. And it looks like a graffiti sort of like paint, and then you've got like the iconic scene where he's like dangling mid-air in that room. Just a bunch of scenes mixed into this picture, and it looks. I love the style on this. I think it looks really stylish. White grayish background then to the 4K. I think it's light, but it's got everything. It looks like, like Ryan's saying, like a classic, a Bond movie. It looks like a classic Bond movie in a way. This one, it looks like a real classic feel to this. Phil, what do you think of this cover?
I don't like the sort of the grey part, the background. Yeah. I think that looks a bit bland, but I like the layout with the different images. It has that feeling of like an old school poster, when they used to paint them and they'd have like all these different characters and bits and things. It has that flavor, but I wish they just like had kept the sort of the blue splash of blue, had that as the full background. I think it would have looked a bit more aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah. Ryan, what do you think of it? Do you like the case cover? What initial thoughts?
It's a lovely cover, which I'm just going to say now. But the only problem with it, which I'm just saying from there, is the background, the grey. It looks terrible. I'm just going to say now. While you look at the artwork, what's inside, it's absolutely beautiful. If that, as I'm saying, I'm going to agree with Philip right here. If the color, like the blue and the colors, like the red and that was around, it would have blended in very just nicely. But what I'm just saying here is like feels like it's just been splat on a piece of paper or something like that, and then just putting these colors in. I just feel like it's missing that tone of what people really want from a case cover. Seeing all these beautiful colors like the embossing, spot gloss, all that kind of stuff. But I think it's just missing that magical feeling of seeing the colors look so good. So for me, which I'm going to say here, it's a good cover if it was more colorful, but I don't think it's the best 4K release that I've seen in a very long time.
Yeah, I agree with that, mate. I agree. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the Blu-ray. So this is the Blu-ray, the 25th anniversary release. Come out a few years back now. This one, and you know what? This is obviously now we see that iconic scene where he's trying to he's hacking into like a computer or something, and he's getting dangled from the ceiling. He's in the white room, and he's got like a black shirt on, black pants. and that's the scene where like if sweat comes off his head and stuff like that, it'll set the alarms and all that off. Such a great scene, and I love the fact I've never seen this cover before. So to see this such an iconic case cover, so you got the white background, in the background in large text, the MI, and then you see in a red text Mission Impossible. Above that, Tom Cruise in the same font as well. At the top, Tom Cruise's name there. And I think just if you know the scene, you're going down to HMV, you see this case cover, you're like, wow, that's Mission Impossible. This, to me, is more Mission Impossible than the last cover, where it felt a bit more James Bondy, and like Phil said, more a bit of like a classic feel to it more so. Ryan, what do you feel about this one, buddy? Do you feel this is a better case cover overall? What's your initial thoughts with this cover?
Looks terrible.
Do you not like this or no?
No, it looks terrible. It's like when I say that, like, what the hell is this? This is
right. Okay.
This must be like some random film that came out years ago. Which I'll just say from that cover right there, it just doesn't fit well with the cover. It's like I would like a bit of like new like artwork, or have the original poster, which was like more artistic in a way. It was like more espionage kind of way.
Yeah.
Well, this is just some guy hacking on a computer. It's just like, is that it? Is that it? Oh yeah, let's stick down to the bottom. 25th anniversary, newly made master. Okay, that's all right. That's pretty decent. I do like the pattern coming from the grey in the Mission Impossible cover right
got
there.
Like that fade, doesn't it? Yeah.
But the only one that absolutely I'm going to compare now is the new logos for the BFI. It's like, oh yeah, it fits well with the color scheme and stuff like that. It's like, where's the BFI logo in the background? How I used to remember it, back in the day. It's just playing all pink with white numbers. I was like, is that it? Like we used to be so remember with the BFI logo in the background, the little white ones, and it just fits so well. It's just like, okay, this is the age rating. Like, I was very well normal until they changed it to put them in different colors. I was like, oh god, it's just missing that opportunity, like what it was.
Yeah.
Back then, it's like a 12 rated movie. That was the same as a 15 color, right?
Yeah.
But that now it's orange. That's orange.
Yeah.
Well, then you got this pink, which was basically was it pink or was it red? Which I think it was.
Red, mate. Was it red? I'm not so sure.
I can't remember unless I just say out my cupboard. But in 18, it's just that's just plain red. Now that used to be like a lighter red. Basically, what it's like a lighter color. That was like more of like a pinkish red. Well, now it's just full on red.
So like, for you, Ryan, did you like the 4K over this one? What do you reckon? What's your favorite?
To be honest, I think I prefer the 4K than this.
You prefer the 4K?
It just looks terrible. It's just some man just hanging around, cutting a computer. That's basically what I'm just saying from here.
It should be called the hacker. What about you, Phil? Did you what do you think of this cover? I mean, Ryan's not a fan of this. What do you think? Like, it's an iconic scene, but I agree with Ryan. Where if someone doesn't know this movie and they see this, it does look like a movie that's called just like some guy on a PC dangling from the ceiling. Yeah. What do you think of this case cover? How do you feel about it?
I'm not a fan of it. I think they're trying to go for like a minimalist type cover, but I'm not a fan of like minimalist posters and covers and things because they don't really tell you. It's like you say, I mean, it's an iconic scene, but like you say, if you don't know that scene, you're like, okay, so Tom Cruise over a computer. What's the film about then? Tell you anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
So
unless you read the blurb on the back of the Blu-ray, that's the only way you're gonna find out what it is. Like
you're right.
It just takes away the excitement. Like, that looks really cool. I like that. That looks decent. That's like kind of like a spy movie right there. While I'm just saying it's the same some guy hacking a computer, which could have been any film in a way.
Yeah.
Which could have been. It could be a comedy film. Could be a thriller, just a plain old thriller.
Could be anything.
Like this, because nobody know if this was a spy movie.
Yeah. Are you with
so there you go.
Phil? What are you thinking? Are you 4K or Blu-ray so far? Then the first one or this one?
So far, the 4K looks better.
Yeah, 4K. I mean, I do like this. I'm kind of like Tom, but I think the 4K is just like a really nice looking cover. I do like the iconic scene though, but I think I'm going to go with you guys on that as well. 4K so far is a nice cover. Let's go for the last one anyway. We're going to go for now the DVD cover. I must say, guys, the image here I've got is a bit blurred, so I do apologise. I should have just took it from.
Good old classic, classic DVD cover, right? Yeah, this one I always remember.
I've got this somewhere in the collection. I this one. Let's describe it. It's a white background. You've got a kind of like a silhouette of Tom Cruise side on his face. Up in front, Tom Cruise at the top of the screen, font in a red color. Below that, Mission Impossible at the bottom of the screen in red as well. You got like the city landscape in the silhouette of Tom Cruise. You see him like it's like shadowy, like a blue background on him, and then like I said, another white background. Kind of like a bit of a running theme throughout all these guys. Is either a grey or a white background with these very, like Philip said as well, but very minimalist type covers. A lot of them. I like this cover. I think it's very, you look at this, it's Mission Impossible straight away. It's an iconic cover. I think a lot of people probably have had the DVD or they've seen. I don't know if this is the original poster. I'm not too sure.
This is the original. It is the original poster, but I think this is being it has been like edited a little bit, which I can see. But
what do you think, Ryan? What do you think of it, buddy?
I love it. I think it's a really good cover. It's Mission Impossible. It's a spy movie. Like just doing the thing, trying to investigate like what's going on and stuff like that. Like while hiring, new people to help him to hunt down who is causing these crimes. And I just like the whole silhouette with the city, like where it's based, like in France. I think it's France. Nice. I think about it. And it just suits so well. And the only problem with me, which I'm just going to say now, is that Universal logo down at the bottom. Now with the
the blue.
Yeah, the blue. Yeah. I just think it just takes everything. I think the dark blue. It's just
Paramount
terrible.
did that on all their early DVDs, like the banner at the bottom. Paramount DVD. All of them had that. Absolutely.
It just takes away like filling the whole cover. It's just like well, they could just put it down at the side. We know it's a Paramount movie, but it's just so they can this is Paramount movie and stuff like that. But for me, I think it's absolutely a wonderful cover. Unless you've seen like the re-release like that they did, which was like more like that's Mission Impossible. Did that have? Yeah, because it still had the same like type of cover, like the silhouette, but you can see more of Ethan Hunt like from that one.
Yeah, there was a few different ones. So I think I've seen the one you mentioned though, Ryan. It was like I said, it's like more like a reworded version, isn't it? But just like a bit more going on in there. Like, but would you say is this your favorite over the 4K, Ryan? Or
for me, I do like it. Right, but I think I prefer the 4K.
4K for you?
Yeah, because it has so much, so many beautiful colors going on. But like the problem with the 4K as it stands still is the grey background. But while it's seeing like that's kind of a silhouette feeling going on, whatever. I think the color scheme just looks very nice. But this is a good one, but I prefer the 4K.
What about you, Phil? Looking at this cover, I mean, what are some of the good points for you? Some of the negative points? What do you think of this one?
Well, first of all, I really like it because it's the original poster, which that's a big thing for me. I like it when they use the original artwork on the cover. But also, I think it really sells it because the first Mission Impossible's not as much of an action film as the later ones. It's more of a spy thriller, and I think this gives off that vibe more. The sort of shadowy picture of Tom Cruise has that sort of dark espionage feel to it. Gives you more. You look at that and you think, oh, it's a spy thriller straight away. Yeah, just from the look of it.
So what are you thinking? The 4K versus this one? Which one's your favourite?
I'm going to go for this because I think the first one was very good, but again, it does make it look a bit more actiony, whereas this one I think fits the tone a little bit more. But they're both very good. I'll go for this.
So Phil's going with the DVD. Ryan, you said you're going with the 4K?
Yeah.
That means I'm going to go with the DVD. I've got to go with the DVD. The classic cover, the poster. I do think that 4K is a nice looking cover, though. I think it's an excellent looking case cover, and it's nice that they've made something completely different as well, and really incorporate a lot of the details in the movie. But I think this poster, like Phil said, the icon, they use the original poster. I think it's just the silhouettes great, and Ryan said as well, the city landscape it just looks superb. Really great bit of art, and
exactly.
That is why that is this week's winner of Case Cover Collision, the DVD case cover. Now let's move on with the next segment of today's show, which is the Amazon Top 10.
Ooh. The Amazon Top 10 is approaching. Prepare yourself. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Amazon Top 10 has arrived.
The Amazon Top 10. Each and every week I give you the Amazon Top 10, the best sales list on Amazon.co.uk for DVDs, Blu-rays, and 4K sales. Let's look at the Amazon Top 10 for this week. So at number 10, we have the Blu-ray of Megan. At number 9, we have Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. At number 8, we have Roald Dahl, Matilda the Musical on DVD. At number 7, we have Downton Abbey: A New Era on DVD. At number 6, we have Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania on DVD. At number 5, we have Megan on DVD. Megan in there again, taking 2 spots. Number 4, we have A Man Called Otto on DVD, Tom Hanks movie. Not seen that yet. A movie we've spoken about today. At number 3, Evil Dead Rise Steelbook 4K. So that's a pre-order for that movie. That's at number 3. At number 2, it has been knocked off the top spot, and it is Elvis on DVD. Great movie. No longer holding number 1 though, but it's still up there in the top 10. And at number 1, we have a new movie. I don't know if it's a movie that's been out previously. Yeah, it's a movie called Local Hero on DVD.
Oh,
reviews. Have you heard of that?
That's a very old one. That's a very old one that came out. Yeah,
1983 or something like that.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that one. It's but that is the number 1 this week on the Amazon Top 10. Local Hero, and Elvis is off the top spot. But now let's go to the final segment of today's show, which is not so worthy, Blockbuster Housekeeping. This is part of the show where we just have a general chit chat at the end of the show, talk about what's going on on our channels, what we got coming up. And as I've got 2 awesome guys, 2 top guys in Ryan and Philip on the show tonight, I want to see what you've got going on your channel. So Ryan, let's get kicking movies. What's coming up on the channel? What have you got going on, buddy?
Right, that's actually a good question because there's a lot of stuff that'll be coming. Next week I will be beginning filming Darkness Within Horror. So that's finally getting itself started, even though I should have recorded them a couple of weeks ago. But say with that series, that's gonna be when I get time to do it. So I do have a schedule, but I'll probably end up just mixing them around a bit. This just depends what film I like to watch. So the first episode, which I promised everyone, it's gonna be Poltergeist.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be the first review. I'm gonna try. So in every episode, there's probably going to be a guest.
Super.
Maybe that kind of thing. So that's going to be good. I recently just got some new box sets, which I'm going to be talking about when the other 2 finally arrive. So I can't really tell you what they are because
fantastic
spoilers.
Hey, no. Hey, don't spoil the video. Don't spoil the video, mate.
Yes, so no worries. So then after that, probably next week there is gonna be a very, very special live stream coming
Yes.
on Tuesday. And it's a full house, so we've got Rock God 2004 coming back, you know.
Nige. Is that Nige, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, Nige,
Yeah,
so there's
yeah.
gonna be some chaos. We got someone first time coming on the stream.
Okay.
That
Who is it?
James of Jim Jam Movies and TV.
Superb. Fantastic.
We've got the return of Scott, the movie critic.
Top guy.
So,
Top guy.
Scott's a mate, man. He's a mint. We've got the return of Pete, who is like a recurring, person who, YouTuber who always likes to just show up out of nowhere on the stream.
Yeah,
Because he just shows up out of nowhere.
Pete is again. He's been on the channel before, and he's just a really nice guy. Honestly, yeah. He's got a great channel. But I'm looking forward to watching that live stream, Ryan. It's where's the best place? Where's the best place to find you? I put in all the links below, by the way, of everyone's channels. But where would you say is the best spot for people to find you online?
So if you are trying to find me online, like where I normally update stuff and stuff like that, I recommend following me on Instagram. Let's Get Kicking Guy, which I'm called. So not easy, like find us on Instagram. Plus, I do have one more guest coming on, and someone who has not been on the channel for a very long time. Now everyone should know it is Soph from Reviews. Very, very long time. So she's coming back on the stream for very, very long time. So it's going to be a very interesting stream.
And is that next Tuesday, right? Is it?
Yes, next Tuesday.
Superb, mate. Well, I'll put, like I said, put links in for that. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Is that going to be a big long stream? Is it? Is it a long night? Is it?
Well, if it comes to nights and stuff like that, we start at 8 o'clock, so we're probably on till like daft o'clock, as I normally do. See, my streams go on for long, depending on the conversation types, or unless I'm just like showing things off as I normally do, which I sometimes do. So it's going to be a mental stream. So if you want to keep like ahead, like want to know when the stream's going on and stuff, like I'm just going to say it again. Follow me on Instagram on Let's Get Kicking Guy, or subscribe to my channel, Let's Get Kicking Movies, and follow my community tab. I update some odd times when I get around to it, but you will know when there's going to be a stream, or unless I tell you at the end of the stream. So that's basically me.
I can't wait. What about yourself, Phil? What have you got coming up on the channel, YouTube wise? Any new videos coming up?
Yeah, I've got I shot a video earlier today. It's going to be on my channel on Monday evening. Yeah, it's been a while since I've posted a video. Actually, I've been a bit I would say procrastinating, but I haven't had the time to sit and film videos for a bit. Right. So don't post very often, unfortunately.
So what's the video? What's the video about? If you reveal a bit about it without spoiling it too much.
Yeah, it is favorite cinema experiences. So my favorite cinema experiences. I don't know what they are. You'll have to watch it and find out.
Super. And when's that? Is that coming out on Monday? Did you say?
Yeah, about 6:30, I think.
Fantastic. And where's the? I'm going to put the links in below as well for, like I said, for both of you. But where's the best spot for people to find you? Where are you more active, like Instagram, YouTube? Where's the best place for people?
I'm a bit more active on Instagram. My Instagram is Crinoid Man.
Yeah.
And my channel is just I've got that Philip Coghill. You put that in on YouTube and you'll find me.
Nice. Superb. Well, like I said, check out both of these guys, both top guys. I've really enjoyed it tonight. Honestly, we've chatted. Obviously, you've both been on the channel before, and it's been a really good discussion. a good chat about movies. And big thank you to both of you for coming on. And for everyone who's been listening in the live chat or has been listening on the replay, thank you very much. It's been a great night. We declared the winner of Battle of the Movie Trilogies, Spider-Man, the OG trilogy. Let me know your thoughts on this topic. If you enjoyed today's video, please do give it a like and leave a comment below on all of today's movie-related topics as well. If you listen to this on the podcast app of your choosing, please do leave a review as well, or a 5-star review. Every review really helps the podcast to grow and the communities to grow even further. And if you write a review, send me a message with the review, the link to it, and I will definitely read it out on the show as well. Great night, a great evening of movie discussions tonight. I've really enjoyed it, gents.
No problem.
Hopefully, we'll be doing a few more of these pay-per-view shows throughout the year because I really like them, just big movie discussions like this. But that is the end of today's show. I just want to say a big thank you to everyone again. It's been great. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gents. Remember to spread a bit of movie cheer, and as always, I will see you next time.